think of the word hood, I think of a person, a place, and perhaps even a thing. I'm Sir Creepsta, and welcome to Mineral County Ghost Stories from the Hood Shorts. So, sit back, relax, grab you some snacks, be terrified by Mineral County Ghost Stories from the Hood Shorts. The year was 1980. William and his mom had made a quick trip into town to go by the local grocery store so that his mom could pick up a few items for their evening dinner. It was around 5 p.m. in the middle of winter, so it had already gotten dark outside in the small town of Central City, Kentucky. It only took William's mom about 20 minutes to get all the things she needed at the grocery store, and she was back inside her car, heading back home. Upon arriving back at their home, which was only about a 5-minute drive, William's mom was about to make a left-hand turn into the driveway when out of nowhere she spotted the headlights of an oncoming vehicle. So she sat there for a few seconds to allow the vehicle to pass by before she turned into the drive. There was a small dip in the road where the oncoming car was coming from. The car went down into the dip, but for reasons unknown, it never came up out of the small dip. It was as if the car had just vanished into thin air. As William and his mom sat there dazed and confused about what had just happened, his mom finally turned into their driveway, went into the house, and never knowing to this very day what had happened to the car. All that heard William know is that 1 minute the car was right in front of them, and then poof, it was gone. But before I go any further, don't forget to treat the like button as if it was an unwelcome bug and smash the hell out of it. Also, click on the bell icon so that you can stay in the loop and be notified each and every time I drop a brand new video. The year was 1995. Randall had just left a visit to one of his close friends that lived in Drakesboro, Kentucky, and was on his way back home to Owensboro, Kentucky. It was around 11 o'clock at night in the middle of the summer, and 431 was a shell of its usual self, almost traffic free. About midway through Livermore, Kentucky, Randall was met by a large winged bat-like creature flying straight towards his car. At first, Randall just thought it to be a very large turkey vulture, seeing that turkey vultures are plentiful in this area. But as the winged bat-like creature got closer to the front windshield of his vehicle, it became as clear as day that what was approaching him definitely wasn't any type of bird that he'd ever seen before. Its enormous size, glowing red eyes, along with its massive wingspan, assured him of that. As the creature neared his car, Randall could not believe what he was seeing. The bat-like creature flew towards Randall's car and glided over the top of it, with its piercing red eyes veering through the front windshield, so bright that they nearly caused Randall to lose control of his vehicle. Once the creature passed over the top of the car, Randall punched the accelerator, making it home in record time. It would be months before Randall would find himself driving on 431, at least not that time of night. To this day, Randall still doesn't have any explanation to what it was he saw on that dark and eerie night. All he knows is that whatever it was, it managed to scare the holy hell out of him. The year was somewhere around 1920. Granny Mae lived in the country near DePoy, Kentucky. Granny Mae didn't have a vehicle at the time, so she and her siblings had to walk about 4 or 5 miles down a long, dark country road to get to their nearest neighbor. On one particular night, Granny Mae had gone to visit one of her friends who was having a birthday party. She went to the party alone and didn't leave her friend's house until around 10 p.m. After saying her goodbyes, Granny Mae proceeded to make her way back home down the long, dark country road. About midway home, Granny Mae thought that she saw something laying in the middle of the road ahead of her. She could tell that whatever it was very large, so her first thoughts were that it probably was one of her cows that her father owned. As she proceeded to get closer, she would see that yes, it was indeed what appeared to be a cow. As she approached the cow, Granny Mae started to cursing at the cow, telling it to get the hell out of the middle of the road. But a few minutes of doing this, the cow never budged. So Granny Mae went to kicking it all over its huge body to try to make the cow move. But still the cow lay there. As Granny Mae kicked and kicked the cow, she quickly realized that there was something very different about this particular cow. It didn't appear to have a head. This frightened Granny Mae so much that she struck out running and didn't stop until she had safely made it home. Granny Mae would soon graduate high school and move far away from her dad's property that she could, never again having any type of run-in with the headless cow until the day she died. Back in the summer of 1977, myself and a group of kids were playing some late night basketball in McGsFtH Park when one of the kids spotted something strange hovering over the old State Highway Department located by the American Legion in Central City, Kentucky. The ball immediately stopped bouncing as the rest of the kids watched the strange disc-like object with flashing white lights glide overhead and then suddenly descend downwards towards the woods located near the park and then disappear into the darkness. In awe and disbelief at what we had just witnessed, myself and the rest of the group of kids struck out running towards the woods in hopes of finding where the large disc-shaped craft had possibly landed. After scouring the woods for several minutes, we were all unable to find a trace of the unidentified object that we always seen with our very own eyes. It was as if the craft had just vanished into thin air as it hit the top of the tree line without a trace. None of us kids, myself included, ever spoke of seeing anything like that again, but we were all sure that what we saw on that hot summer night was none other than a real-life UFO. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's stories. Stay tuned for more to come. I'm Sir Creepsta, and until next time, stay terrified.